like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till...
All right, so you're here because, like we all saw it, Mahomes goes down.
Yeah.
And can't put any weight on that ankle, and suddenly it's like the Chiefs' Super Bowl dreams are looking a little shaky.
Yeah.
But, before anyone hits that panic button, we're going to dive deep into all the reports and
absolutely
expert analysis to give you the real story and what it all means for the Chiefs moving forward.
Well, it's funny how those initial reactions, I mean, we go right to the extremes.
Right.
You see a star quarterback grab his ankle, and everybody thinks the worst.
It's like everyone held their breath waiting for the X-ray results.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when they came back negative, like, phew. Okay, no broken bones.
Huge relief, right.
Huge relief.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
A negative X-ray doesn't mean that everything is just perfect.
Right.
You can still have some pretty serious ligament damage.
Yeah.
And in this case, we're looking at a high ankle sprain.
Okay, so break that down for us.
Sure.
What exactly is a high ankle sprain?
Well,
and why is it so concerning, even if there's not a broken bone?
Imagine your ankle is kind of like a hinge.
Okay.
With 2 sets of ligaments. Okay. 1 set on each side.
Right.
Now, a high ankle sprain. This involves the ligaments above the ankle, connecting those 2 lower leg bones.
I see.
And those ligaments are key for stability.
Right.
So when those get stretched or torn, it can be incredibly painful, and it really limits your range of motion.
So it's not just about the pain.
Right.
It's about how this impacts, Mahomes' ability to move.
Yeah.
To plant his foot, to make those throws that he's, famous for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, this is where things get kind of interesting. Remember what Mahomes said after the game?
Yeah.
He said it's usually like the day after when you know how bad it really is. That tells me he knows this isn't just a little tweak. And then, Ian Rappaport drops that report on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Those Rappaport tweets always send shockwaves through the NFL world.
Right.
So let's break it down.
Yeah.
What did he actually say?
Yeah.
He called it a mild high ankle sprain?
Yeah.
Is that as good as it sounds?
Well, mild is definitely the best case scenario.
Okay.
In this situation, think of it like this. With a mild sprain, those ligaments are stretched.
Yeah.
Or maybe partially torn.
Okay.
But they're not completely ruptured.
Right.
So that means that recovery is faster, and there's less risk of long-term instability.
Okay.
But it's still a significant injury.
Right.
And it's going to take time to heal.
Mild is a relative term, I guess.
Yeah.
But then he throws out that phrase that everyone dreads, week to week.
I know.
So what does that tell us?
Well, week to week is the NFL's way of saying we have no idea.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
It means Mahomes' return depends completely on how quickly he heals.
Yeah.
And how he responds to treatment.
Right.
And remember, the Chiefs have a brutal schedule coming up.
Yeah.
Saturday against the Texans. Then Christmas Day against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Talk about pressure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Almost no recovery time.
No.
For a really crucial stretch of games.
Right.
So how does this timeline actually play out?
Well, this is where Rappaport's mention of Mahomes maybe practicing this week becomes so important.
Right.
Because it really shows the dilemma the Chiefs face.
Yeah.
Do they risk making the injury worse by pushing him too soon? Or do they try to get by without their star quarterback in must-win games?
It's a tough call either way.
It is.
And of course, Mahomes himself is already talking about getting back ASAP.
Of course.
He was describing the play, how he was, trying to make something happen on 4th down.
Right. And what's interesting is he also mentioned he got rolled up on, high ankle sprains.
Yeah.
They're often caused by those awkward landings.
Right.
Not just direct blows.
I see.
So the fact that it's mild after that kind of force, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Definitely speaks to his toughness.
Yeah.
But speaking of toughness, how are the Chiefs as a team going to weather this storm?
That's the million-dollar question.
That's right.
And it kind of leads us to the next part of our deep dive here.
Okay.
Exploring those ripple effects of this injury and how the Chiefs might adapt their strategy with Mahomes out.
Sounds good.
Right.
Okay, so we've laid out the situation. Mahomes is down.
Right.
But not out with this high ankle sprain.
Right.
But that still leaves the Chiefs with a pretty big question mark at quarterback.
Huge question mark.
So let's talk about their option. Because if Mahomes can't go, it's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely.
The most obvious option is Shane Buechele, right?
Yeah.
He's the backup. But let's just say he's...
unproven.
Yeah, unproven at this level.
Yeah, he's got some big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
To put it mildly.
And it's interesting, Buechele's strengths, they're really different from Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's more of a traditional pocket passer.
Oh, okay.
Not really known for his mobility or those improvisational skills.
All right. So we're talking about a potential shift in the entire offensive strategy.
Absolutely.
Less of that Mahomes magic.
Yeah.
More of a, a more grounded approach.
What
would that look like on the field?
Well, you'd probably see a heavier reliance on the running game.
Okay.
Shorter passes.
Right.
And a much more conservative play calling style.
So it's a huge adjustment.
Huge.
Not just for Buechele.
Right.
But for the whole offense.
The receivers, the O-line. Everyone's used to Mahomes.
Right.
Extending plays and, making something out of nothing.
So option one, roll the dice with Buechele.
Yep.
Hope he doesn't crumble under the pressure.
Yeah.
And pray that the rest of the team can adapt quickly enough.
Right.
Not exactly ideal.
Not ideal.
For a team with Super Bowl aspirations.
Definitely high risk.
Right.
High reward.
But there is another option.
There is.
That's been circulating in the rumor mill.
Right.
Bringing in a veteran free agent quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting.
Now we're talking.
Who are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Anyone with, actual Super Bowl experience.
Well, there are a few names that keep popping up.
Right.
Matt Ryan, for example.
Okay.
He's a free agent right now. He's got a Super Bowl appearance on his resume.
Yeah.
And he knows what it takes to win in this league.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
That's a name that carries some weight.
It does.
But hasn't he been kind of fading?
He's not the same Matt Ryan we saw in 2016. Right. Could he really step in and lead this Chiefs offense?
Well, it's true he's not the same guy he was back then.
Yeah.
But he's still a seasoned veteran. He understands complex offenses.
Right.
He can read defenses. And he could, potentially provide some stability during a crisis like this.
Okay. Another name I've seen mentioned is Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, yeah?
Not the flashiest QB.
Right.
But he's got a reputation for being reliable and making smart decisions. What about him?
Well, Bridgewater's interesting
because
he's actually familiar with the Chiefs system.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember he was with them back in 2019 as Mahomes' backup.
Right.
So, less of a learning curve, which is a huge plus given the limited time to prepare.
Familiarity is definitely a plus.
For sure.
Especially with these crucial games coming up so fast.
Yeah.
But would Bridgewater really be an upgrade?
That's the question.
From Buechele?
That's the million-dollar question.
It's a gamble either way.
Right.
Bringing in a veteran, it disrupts team chemistry. And you could, potentially create new problems while you're trying to solve the existing one.
So what's the most likely scenario here?
Well,
what should we expect to see from the Chiefs in the coming days?
If I had to put money on it,
okay,
I'd say the Chiefs will probably go with Buechele.
Yeah.
For the Texans game.
Okay.
It's a short week. Not enough time to integrate a new quarterback.
Right.
And get him up to speed.
So go with the devil,
Exactly. Like for this week.
But if Mahomes is still out for the Steelers game on Christmas, that's when we might see a veteran brought in.
Okay, so short-term pain.
Yeah.
Potential long-term game.
Right.
But let's not forget, even if Mahomes ISS back for the playoffs, this ankle sprain could still be a factor.
Yeah, but it's not like he's just going to magically be back at 100%.
No.
Right.
Even a mild high ankle sprain can linger for weeks.
Yeah.
It can impact his mobility, his accuracy, his ability to escape pressure.
And in the playoffs, where every inch, every second matters.
Every little thing matters.
Right?
Yeah.
Those limitations could be crucial.
They could.
So even the best case scenario, Mahomes returning for the playoffs, comes with its own set of challenges.
For sure.
This situation isn't just about who's under center.
Right.
It's about the entire team stepping up.
Stepping up.
And finding a way to win.
Right.
Potentially in a very different way than they're used to.
Absolutely.
We've seen Mahomes work miracles before.
Right.
Carry the team on his back time and time again.
Yeah.
But can the rest of the team carry the load if he's not at his best?
That's the question.
That's the question that will define their season.
It is.
It's a true test of their resilience
It is.
and their adaptability.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've focused a lot on the strategic side of things.
Yeah.
But I think there's another layer here
There is.
that deserves its own deep dive.
Definitely.
The psychological impact of this situation.
Oh, yeah.
The pressure,
Yeah.
the uncertainty,
Absolutely.
the emotions involved. That's got to weigh on everyone involved.
Yeah.
From Mahomes himself to his teammates to the entire coaching staff.
For sure.
It's easy to get caught up in all the, like the X's and O's and all the potential roster moves and all that when something like this happens. But I think we forget sometimes that we're talking about real people.
Absolutely.
With real emotions. The weight of all those expectations, the pressure to perform, the fear of letting the team down, all of that stuff is real, and it can really have a huge impact on how this all plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's dive into that a little bit.
Okay.
What kind of psychological challenges might Mahomes be facing right now?
Well, you got to think about it.
Yeah.
He's at the top of his game,
Right.
leading a team with Super Bowl aspirations, and then suddenly he's sidelined, watching from the sidelines, as his team tries to navigate these crucial games without him. That's got to be incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, and on top of that frustration, there's the pressure to come back quickly. The fear of not being able to perform at the same level.
Right.
The possibility of re-injuring himself.
Yeah, those are heavy burdens to carry.
It's a lot.
It is.
And it's not just Mahomes.
No, it's the whole team. His teammates are feeling the pressure to step up and fill that void.
Right.
Prove they can win without their star quarterback. The coaching staff, they're scrambling to adjust game plans. Figure out personnel, manage expectations.
It's like this ripple effect.
It is.
Right? This one injury sends these shockwaves through the organization, creating anxiety and uncertainty at every level.
Yeah, that's where leadership becomes really crucial.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The coaches, the veteran players,
they
need to step up and create that sense of calm amidst the storm. Provide reassurance, guidance, and support.
So important. They need to foster that culture of resilience. Where everybody feels empowered to contribute.
Exactly.
Even when facing adversity.
And that's a great point.
It's a good reminder that football, like life, I guess, is about so much more than just physical ability.
It's about mental toughness. It's about teamwork. It's about adapting to this unexpected challenges.
And that's what makes this situation so compelling to watch.
It really does.
We're seeing the Chiefs at a crossroads, a defining moment. That's really going to reveal their true character.
It is.
How they respond to this challenge, how they support their leader, how they band together and fight for their goals. That's what will determine their legacy.
It is.
Well said.
Thank you.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with today?
I think the biggest thing is to remember that uncertainty is a part of life.
Right.
And it's especially a part of sports.
Yeah.
But even when things are uncertain,
Yeah.
there's always room for hope, resilience,
Right.
and the belief that anything is possible.
I love that.
You know,
Yeah.
the Chiefs season isn't over.
Yeah.
And Mahomes' career isn't defined by this injury. It's how they respond to this challenge as individuals and as a team
Right.
that will really shape their story.
Beautifully said. And for all you Chiefs fans out there, remember, it's not over till it's over. Stay informed, keep the faith, and as always, go Chiefs.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.